Welcome to Building with Dope Individuals. This is episode 6. We have the #1 haunted house and escape room in New York City.
That's right.
A Haunted in Hollis. Can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background?
Hi guys, my name is Sehven, and a little bit about my background is I am a creative mind. I love creating things and then putting them into fruition. So the haunted house is a wondrous part of my life because I'm able to do that. I'm able to actually think up ideas and then close my eyes and about a month later open them, and it is exactly as I perceived it to be. So I love scaring people. I've been doing that since I was a kid, and I get a tremendous amount of joy from it, which is a little weird, I know, but I figured out a way to make money from it. So I'm excited.
Were you the kid that always wanted to see a scary movie rather than a funny movie?
No. To be honest, I don't like scary movies. I don't like being scared. I don't like being scared. When someone scares me, I get really mad at them to the point where it's like, ugh. But nobody can really get me that good because I'm always like, yeah, somebody's behind that corner. Yeah, somebody's behind that corner. Like, even if nobody's like there, yeah, I just be like on point. So I don't like being scared. I don't like scary movies. I'll watch them if I'm in a big group. Okay. And I'll watch them if the lights are on. Yeah. But I'm not watching no scary movie in the dark. That's not my, I'll be under the covers like, scared.
That's funny. Did you ever imagine yourself becoming an entrepreneur?
Of course. I was always a rule breaker, so I always had problems with authority. All right. Since birth. I was a badass. So.
Wow. So how did your school education play a part in your success?
To be honest, it plays like 100% part of my success because growing up, I went to a school in Long Island, and they have, I believe, one of the best education systems. Okay. And if it wasn't for what I learned in that schooling system, and then of course in my later years I went to college. Would
you mind telling which county it was?
Nassau County. Okay. Long Island. And I also went to college, and I had a major in business. All right. So of course my education plays a big part in learning how to market, learning how to even just start a business from start to finish, and actually do the research to find out more information because you only learn but so much in school. Yeah. So my entrepreneurial spirit made me go further out and seek more information as to how to nail it. And I got it down pat.
All right. Where were you working before you became an entrepreneur? Was this your first venture?
No, I actually have a lot of failed ventures. I had a trucking company where I hauled garbage I had an 18-wheeler. All right. And I hauled garbage from...
Did you drive it?
No. I mean, I drove it, but I didn't drive it. Like, I know how to drive one.
You had a CDL too?
No.
Oh,
no.
But
I've always been a boss. So, I had employees that actually drove the trucks. But yeah, I was in the trucking industry. I was in the beauty industry. I owned a nail salon. And I owned another couple of cleaning companies. I owned a whole bunch of businesses. But my last job prior to being an entrepreneur was in 2010. That was my last job, and it was sales. So I've always been in sales. Okay. So sales, marketing, those are huge aspects of owning a business. Yes. And having a successful business, and I've mastered those too. So. All right. And it all, my whole history, my whole background actually plays a part in who I am today. Okay.
This is your favorite business right here?
Yes. And the reason why is because, like I said in the beginning, I love to explore my creativity. I love to tap into, the deepest parts of my imagination and then actually, have it, visually appealing and visually just there for people to see what was in my head and it actually be, a tangible item that they can actually...
What keeps you motivated year after year?
The money. No, not just the money. The customers. I love customer service. That's one of my key aspects of business management too, is customer service. The customer is always right. Okay. They don't use that slogan no more. I don't even think they do that in training. I do with my staff. I'm keeping that going, period. No matter what other businesses I venture to in the future, customer is always right. So, yeah.
That's cool. Could you share one of your biggest challenges you had to overcome to get where you at now?
I think it's the same challenge that everybody faces in the day-to-day life aspect is
Okay.
like you have a goal and you know your goal is all the way down there and you're here, you're at the start line and you're
Okay.
trying to reach that finish line, and just to keep motivating yourself to keep going and just know that that end goal is going to come. That's a big challenge that a lot of people face.
Okay.
And some people give up, some people don't keep pushing, some people on their road to success, they're just not happy and they're just not as motivated as they were when they started.
All right.
But I think that keeping that same level of motivation and keeping that same idea that, you know, it's going to be all right, you know, and you're going to reach your goal. It might take 1 year, it might take 8, it might take 4 failed business ventures like me, or like multiple other people who are successful. So, you know, just keep going. And that I think that's one of the biggest things that I had to overcome, was just like, yo, you're gonna do it. Just keep going. You're gonna reach your goal. And I'm almost there. I'm not there yet, but I can see the finish line now. So
It's all topic, but what happened to the truck? Did you ever sell the truck? You still got the truck?
No. So to be honest, you know, that industry is run by a certain group of people.
All right.
And they saw that we were prevailing. Like I was about to buy 2 more trucks because I know how to do business credit. Like I delved deep into everything. So we had gas cards, we had everything. We didn't need them. We had a contract, and we didn't need their gas. We didn't need their trucks.
Yes.
We didn't need their attachments. Like I had my own stuff. And they were like, nah, they moving too quick. Like, she's smart. Like, let's sabotage. And they didn't just sabotage me. The company that I was under sabotaged like 6 other trucks.
Oh, damn.
And like set them on fire, sabotaged them. But mine, it was like a wrench put into my transmission. Like I went to the dealership and they were like,
crazy.
you know, this guy been working for 20 years and he's like, he's never seen something like that. It was deliberately done.
That's crazy.
And yeah, they put a wrench in my transmission, and as it spun, it broke all the teeth off. And it was like irreparable. And it was to the point where it was like, fix the truck, get a new truck. Like the overhead is, you wouldn't even believe.
I already know.
You wouldn't even believe. Diesel is diesel. Bogarting people, you know.
Did you have any experience with starting a haunted house or escape room before?
No.
Or you just learn on the go?
Absolutely not. I'm super creative, and I know how a consumer thinks.
Okay.
Like I said, my last job that I had, I used to get called into the conferences for all of the, like, you know, the chairman, the board, and like everything. They used to ask me my opinion because I can always see from the consumer's point of view and the CEO's point of view.
All right.
And that's going into business. That's what you always have to do. People don't do that. They don't think of themselves as a customer and how would they feel if this happened to them.
Put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah. So that I had to learn everything as I went, and yeah.
What's the most shocking experience you witnessed from a guest to your haunted house or escape room?
I mean, it's the regular panic attacks, asthma attacks, getting escorted out, injuries. That's why you gotta sign waivers at my haunted house.
So how often is like the ambulance called for? Like, during
they get hurt, but they
peak
don't.
season, like
Peak season. I mean, last year
'cause
we
you
had
know-
like 2. We had like 2.
So
That wasn't that
So
bad.
it's average like 2.
Yeah,
2 a
we
year?
had more injuries, but it was like 2. But
People
that's
running around and
yeah,
tripping
so
and shit,
you're
like,
getting chased by chainsaws, you know. But our number 1 rule is not to run. So if you're running, you broke that rule. You breached the contract or the waiver. But I would say, I would say that the craziest experience that I seen was not from a guest. It was from an actual actor. We have laser guns at our haunted house. You get to shoot the actors.
Yes.
And they're trained.
Cool.
They know this, everything. But day 1 last year, we had our staff member, one of the actors, getting shot by the laser guns.
Yes.
And he came running through the whole entire haunted house, came outside sweating, and just ran all the way down the block. And I'm like, that was an actor. And we were on it. We ran inside the house. All we kept hearing him say is, they shooting. They got guns, they shooting. So we like, and not even thinking it can't be the laser guns. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, they
think it's
shooting
real?
my crib. I'm like, nah, I'm going. That's still my. At the end of the day, it's an establishment. It's a business.
Yes.
It's been operating for 6 years. It's a full-on LLC. It's a business. But at the end of the day, that's my grandmama's house. You're not shooting in my grandmama's house. So we went in there deep, like, nah, you're not shooting in my crib. And we searched the whole house. We shut down operations, searched the whole crib. Nobody inside was shooting. We were so confused.
So you shut down everything.
Everything. We made everybody get out. Everybody who was in the haunted house got out. We did like a search.
What day was this?
Tapped everybody down. I don't remember. This was the first day last year. Well, our opening does have lines, but I don't think it was like a massive. It wasn't one of those days where the lines are wrapped around.
Oh yeah.
That would have been real bad.
Yeah.
But no, we actually chased him down because he was sitting at the bus stop. The bus stop's like close to my establishment.
All right.
He was sitting at the bus stop panting, and we're like, "What happened? Explain everything to us. What was the person look like?" And he was like, "I don't know, but they had a gun." I was like, "Was it this gun?" And I showed him the laser gun. He like, "Yeah," and they was shooting at me, and I was like,
"Y'all didn't have a meeting before and tell them that you had the laser guns?"
Not a meeting. We trained them, so they actually get shot. They get shot when a person shoots, like aims the gun at you. You're supposed to get shot, fall to the ground, but then they get up. They have knee pads. They get up. They have gloves. Okay. They start crawling back towards you after they get shot because they don't die. They zombies, right? So you're trained on this, full on training, bro, for days, for weeks. And he
panicked. That's all.
Yeah, he panicked. He had a panic
probably
attack.
caught anxiety. Have you encountered any paranormal activity while running the haunted house?
I wouldn't say about running the haunted house, but on a day-to-day basis, it's some shaky stuff going on in there.
So she messing around with the spirits, huh?
So, but we sage. All right, so my daughter's big on sage and my mother's big on sage, and so we sage to cleanse the house. Okay. Whatever energy is in the house ain't going nowhere with no sage or none of that. But it's a good spirit. All so, right. And you know, we believe that it's the lady who died in the house. Her name is Miss B. It was my grandmother's friend who lived in her basement, and she had this doll. Like, there's this whole backstory to why we know the house is haunted. Okay. And we never found the doll. Like, we tortured the doll, we cut her hair, took out her stuff and drew on her face, and then we threw her in this big monumental pot that's been there since like the 1800s. It's still in front of our crib. And we threw her up there that's like 20 feet high, maybe 15 feet high. And fire department pulls up, and they're like, "You guys called the fire department saying it was a fire." And we're like, "No, we didn't, but we just was playing with fire. We almost set the house on fire, me and my brother." So we're like, "Who knows? Like, who called the cops on us?" Nobody knew, nobody saw us. And we was like, "Yo, it was that doll." So we climbed up the pot. After FDNY left, we climbed up the pot. The doll was gone. Dog gone. To this day, I be like, "Nah, go get that." We got a big ladder that when we climbed the roof to do the Christmas decoration, well, we used the Christmas decoration. We get this big old ladder, so we went up there the other day, like, it still ain't in there.
So do you hire somebody to do all the decorations at your crib, or
I do all the decorations at my crib. I do everything, not just the decorations outside. I do the internal, all the internal, everything by myself. Because I don't want anybody to, that's my vision, so it has to be created the way that I see it in my head. So I do have a team of people who do contracting, like do construction and do, other stuff like that, or will help me hold something while I'm taping up wallpaper, or but I build my own props. I do my own, I do everything, so.
Okay. What are some of the daily challenges you face in managing a haunted house and or escape room?
Well, managing an escape room is kind of hard because we're just starting with that. So what we do is we have a 2-hour window where, like, say you go online and you want to book an escape room, you have to pick the soonest one that's within past 2 hours. All right. So if at the 2-hour mark, let's say it's 1 o'clock and you go on and you see an escape room for 3 and you booked at 3 o'clock. Now I gotta hit my staff up like, hey, because it's I can't just have them sitting there and paying them for I have 3 actors, so each room is dedicated 3 actors. Yes. So the escape rooms are not just like a regular escape room. We have actors hidden in the room when you already get in there. All right. So when you open certain locks or you open certain things, you think that is a cabinet or you think that it's something, and it's actually an actor in there, or it's a portal that leads to somewhere else. Like, it's super creatively designed. So to have the staff on deck and just it's not there yet. Yeah. So that's the issue with operations with escape room. Other than that, like, if I had the flow of bookings for escape room, hands down. The haunted house, one of the biggest concerns is that it's a Halloween-based organization, right? It's a seasonal thing. People call it seasonal, but it's really not, because Halloween is Halloween. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, it's fall. That's a seasonal thing. It's a fall production. No, it's a Halloween production. So trying to get people in from October 1st to like the weekend before Halloween is very hard, because everyone wants to come on that last weekend. Everybody wants to come on Halloween. Like, my lines are wrapped during the last 5 or 6 days of October. But if we could, instead of having the lines wrapped during the last 5 or 6 days of October and spread that out and have the line minimal throughout the whole October, it'll be easy for everyone. They won't have to wait that long in line. But some people don't care. They come, they know they're going to wait. They're like, listen, I'm glad I got in this year. I didn't even get in last year. Like, because we sell tickets. So they like, I never got to see it. It's been here for 6 years. I drive past every day. Like, I'll be trolling my comments on Secret NYC.
So can't miss it.
I be trolling my comments. So people, they want to come, but it's like the line. So come early.
Makes sense. How do you maintain the element of surprise to keep the fear in your visitors, to keep them coming back?
It's positioning of my actors. A lot of haunted houses use props.
Okay.
Rightfully so. I understand why they do it. Overhead is insane for the amount of actors that I have. I have over 25 actors.
Oh, wow.
I have like 29 actors. And on Halloween, I have double because it's a split shift. We're open for like 14 hours or 17 hours, something like that. So I hired double for like that last weekend. I hired double actors. So the overhead is insane. A lot of other haunted houses have like these animatronics that they spend money on, but you're not spending that every year because you don't, once you buy that product, you don't have to spend that every year. So I get where they're coming from. That lowers their overhead, but I believe in having the actual presence of another being in that room with you. In that area with you. You don't know where they at. Like in our mazes, they're pitch black, so you don't know where somebody coming from. It could be somebody doing contortionism, walking backwards real fast towards you. Somebody that's, running on their hands and knees like a dog, like real close to your legs. Like somebody that's just running on the walls, like literally kicking off one wall and jumping to the next wall. Like my actors is crazy. But that's why I have the maze, because it allows them, it's designed to give them enough space to be able to kick off one wall and jump, but not too much space to where they kick off one wall and just fall into the middle of the air. But it's spacious enough. I design my mazes as well. I do the floor plan. I have an architect. I get permits from the city. Like it's this whole thing. It's not so simple. But yeah, the element of surprise is where I hide the actors, and I don't have props. I have real people in there, so scary.
How did you manage to get Nick Cannon to visit?
To be honest, this is year 6. I have not marketed 1 year. So this year is the first year I started marketing, and the only reason why is because, it's obvious. Social media is a big influence in purchases, customer purchases. So instead of, my Google SEO is insane. So if you Google a haunted house, I'm the first one that comes up. Unless there's a sponsored ad, a paid ad or something, I'm always organically the first pop-up, right, within the tri-state. That being said, maybe Nick Cannon's team Googled, and then they saw it. It was like, let me go check this out. Let me call them. So they had a call with me and his producers, and, I explained the situation, and they were like, all right, we coming tomorrow. And I'm like, for real? Like, for real, So same with Light Skin Monty. We've had, like, a whole bunch of influencers. Light Skin Monty's coming back, but he's doing the escape rooms.
Okay.
So he's going to live stream that on the 17th. We got LL Cool J in the making.
He's coming back?
He never came.
He never came? I seen him on your page.
Yeah, because I live in Hollis. I live on Hollis Avenue. So when I was driving down, I had seen his producers, like, taking pictures of the thing. And I'm like, what's going on here? And they was like, oh, LL's going to be here later. So I was like, because for the Rock the Bells marketing. So I came back, and he was there. And, they gave us tickets to his concert. We went.
That's cool.
And he said he was going to come to the haunted house. So I'm like, we'll see. But I just got his marketing team his PR team just reached out to me today.
That's what's up.
And,
what's the odds? Look at that.
So it's looking like LL is coming.
That's lit.
But yeah, Nick Cannon's team reached out to me. This year I started marketing, so I started reaching out to influencers.
Okay.
But we are also on Secret NYC, which is like a huge platform for if you want to find out anything to do in New York City.
Okay.
They have millions of followers. So I don't know, you heard of Chicklet? He's a comedian, him and his girl.
Yeah.
He's coming on tomorrow. He's actually coming.
That's lit.
So they're doing like give backs. They're giving away, tickets to their
tomorrow's
followers.
the first day it started, right?
No, we started September 29th this year. So my actors are already got their foot in.
Got wrong information on somebody. They said Friday 13th it opens.
No, we open back up. So what I do is to warm my staff up.
Yes.
I open, which we actually had big opening weekends. It was surprising. So I might open all October next year.
That's what I was wondering, because I was telling somebody, let's go there, and it was like, no, it's closed.
Yeah, we were closed Monday through Thursday. So we open Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, we open Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that was the 29th, 30th, and 1st. then we shut down for 4 days.
All right.
So each time we do that, we add on. So that's
All
why
right.
people come so much, because they come in the beginning
And it changes.
and then they come at the end. Yeah, it changes. So
Gotcha.
like we about to put holes back in the walls. Through our mazes, you have to crawl through holes to get to the other side. You have to climb through tunnels, and like it's so interactive. It's insane.
Make sure you
There's
wear
a
shoes.
slide. There's a slide too.
A slide?
Yeah, there's a slide. It's called
Wow.
Satan's Slope, and it's extremely
Wow.
fast. So just sign that waiver, like I said.
What was the most unexpected challenge you faced when converting your house into a haunted house?
All right, so let's go back to the Nick Cannon story, right?
Okay.
So, well, let's go way back. So 6 years ago, I started out the haunted house as a maze. My 21-year-old daughter, at the time, she was 6 years younger than I,
Okay.
of course. She's like, instead of decorating, why don't you create a maze for kids, create a haunted house? So I got PVC pipe, connected it together, threw garbage bag material over it, and the kids were running through it. They had an amazing time. So I'm like, I'm gonna do it again next year.
This outside or inside your
This
house?
is outside. So I only
Okay.
did that for the first year. The second year, it got so big, I'm like, you know what? But it got more scary. So I'm
Okay.
like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send the kids on the other side of the yard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna build this maze out of pipe. No, the next year I used wood. That was
Okay.
the second year I used wood. So I built just one maze, and I let them go into the first floor of my house.
Okay.
So it was just the maze and the first floor. That was all they were able to access.
Okay.
And I had the kids go on the other side. So the parents would drop their kids off. They would get a stamp on their hand like Chuck E. Cheese, drop their kids off, get a little babysitter, had ponies, cotton candy, bouncy house, everything you could think of over there.
Did they have an age limit?
No, there were babies over there and everything.
Oh,
So they would
okay.
drop their baby off, and they would go through the haunted house, come back and pick their kid up and go.
That's cool.
So fast forward to year 4 when Nick Cannon came 2 years ago. I'm like, Ma, we gotta open up the top part of the house, because now it's been 3 years, we operating 4 years, whatever.
Yeah.
And now we have the basement, the garage, and we have 2 mazes.
That's crazy.
And we were living in
everything
the upper
together.
portion of the house, but the house was huge. It's a corner property. So
Yes.
we had 2 extra floors upstairs. I'm like, Ma, Nick Cannon is coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
We got to open up the whole crib and show him what is. Yo, we stayed up all night, bro. All night.
I can imagine.
And that was the biggest challenge, was trying to convince my mother, let me bust a hole in this wall real quick. Because there's this staircase that we used to call the staircase that leads to nowhere, because
Yeah.
it was a staircase and it literally led to nowhere. You would go up the stairs and that's it. It was a wall, you had to come back down.
Wow.
Weird. And so we called it the staircase that leads to nowhere.
That's some real
And-
haunted shit, though.
Yeah, creepy, right? So I'm like, when Nick Cannon come, though, if we could bust a hole in this wall right here, because then they would be able to have 2 staircases to go up and down.
Yeah, so
And
you
that's how
go
we
around.
introduced the slide, because now
Yeah.
instead of going down the slide, if you don't want to do it, you can go down the
Stairs.
stairs. And they're literally like this, parallel to each other. It's weird. So that was one of the biggest challenges, was trying to convince my mother of that one thing. And once, like, up until then, I was trying to convince her, Ma, come on, let me put some blood on the walls. Ma, this is my grandmother's house, passed down to my mother, and now passed down to me, right? So my mother's like, you're not doing that to my mother's house. You're not busting no holes in the walls. You're not
I
putting
can
no blood.
imagine, yo. That
So when
sounds
Nick
like
Cannon came, I had to
hell.
beg her. I'm like, Ma, please, it's Nick Cannon. Can I please put a hole in this wall? She was like, I don't want to see it. I'm leaving. You can do it, but I don't want to see it. So we stayed up all night. We bust that hole in the wall. We decorated the whole upstairs, and like overnight,
Yes.
so that when he came the next day, it was a whole another 5 scenes. A whole another 5 bedrooms with different scenes.
Sorry to cut your wisdom. Do you live there too?
Yeah, we still live there.
I had a whole bunch of questions that had to do with that. I'm like, no way in hell. She has so many people come in the house, but they say you sage. But I'm just thinking, like, I don't know. You could tell you what you're saying. But
Yeah, we live there. So it does get kind of hard with operation as far as cooking, and then hurrying up and cleaning up, because we have operations.
Yeah.
But that's why I set the times the way that I do. I'm
All
able
right.
to do, mess with the timing, because it's not that we open at 4 because of whatever. It's we open at 4 because we had to cook breakfast, we had to cook lunch and dinner.
Schedule
You know what I
is
mean?
everything.
And then now y'all could come in. Like, we live there. So, everybody showers at a certain time, and then we shower after. We have another shower that's off limits. We have 3 showers. We have 3 like bathrooms, and like
I
it's a
see
huge
that you
house.
also rent, like, props and
Airbnb.
things.
Oh.
You rent Airbnb there
Yeah,
too?
we have Airbnb.
At the same.
Yeah, during the summer. So during the summer,
So where do you live? You live in a
it's
certain.
a 2-family mansion. So There are multiple levels downstairs, multiple levels upstairs.
Yo.
So, yeah, with Airbnb, we were doing full house rental, but it's a two-family. So full house, meaning you have the whole first house, which is the first floor to basement.
Oh, okay.
And then they would have access to the yard. So we have a pool outside, a gazebo. We have a playhouse that we converted now, and it's in the haunted house. But playhouse with swing sets and stuff. And a bar. Like, I convert my 2-car garage into a full-on bar. Like, strobe lights, fog machine inside, pool table, like,
that's fire.
Lit, projector.
So what do you do when you have the haunted house? You turn that into...
So now that I have the haunted house, that's for my staff. Like, I have a lot of staff. I have 38 staff members. So including actors, line attendants who take your tickets, and the ticket booth person, and just someone that's banging on the door, somebody to collect our laser guns because they were stealing them last year. So now we have metal detectors on our laser guns. I'm sorry, we have alarms on our laser guns and a metal detector. So operations is way smoother this year because there was a lot of things happening last year that I couldn't control because I didn't think outside the box, or it was too late for me to notice to hurry up and come up with a solution. So all year long this year, I was working on the haunted house. So this year, it's seamless. I can leave my establishment. You know, I would have never left my establishment. I left my establishment one year to do a nonprofit event. I have a nonprofit organization. So I left to do a family. It's called Believe at Bel Air.
Okay.
So that monument that I was telling you about, that's from the 1800s, that's outside. It says Bel Air Park on it. Okay. So back in the day, that was the entrance gate to Bel Air Park.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's called Believe at Bel Air, like to get children to believe in themselves and believe in, like, you know, the spirit of Christmas or whatever it is. So, see, we're sidetracked.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Mm-hmm. As an entrepreneur, how do you deal with the stress and avoid feeling burnt out?
That goes back to the first question that you asked me is, you know, what's one of the hardest obstacles to overcome in being an entrepreneur? It's the same thing. It's just, you have to keep your mind on the end goal. Like, you have to stay busy, you have to stay focused, and you have to keep your mind on the end goal. And you also have to balance yourself out. Like, there's this thing called Fab Over 40.
Okay.
I'm 40. So I entered into the contest.
Happy birthday, happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
You're a Virgo, so.
Yep.
But I'm not gonna mention nothing about that. Yeah.
So yeah, Fab Over 40, I'm doing this competition, and go vote for me, fabover40.com. My name is Sehven. But anyway, so what they ask you is the same question: how do you not get burnt out? And my answer on that was just, they asked you, what would you tell your younger self?
Okay.
And it's the same thing that I keep telling myself today is, bro, everything's going to be fine. Like, everything's going to be fine. Like, whether it's a year, like I said earlier, it could be a year from now, 8 years from now. It might take time to get where you're trying to go, but if you just keep going in that direction, you're going to get there. But another thing that you do is you stay focused, you stay on your, you know, your goal in your mind, and then you also have to take vacations. I go on vacation like literally every 2 months to another tropical island, every month or two.
What's the last tropical island you went to?
Okay, so this year I buckled down. I didn't go anywhere else. I went to Dubai. I take my mother somewhere every May for her birthday. Amazing. We did everything. We did the dinner in the sky. We did camel ride.
So you're not afraid of heights?
Yeah, but I've jumped out of airplanes twice.
Wait. You jumped out of airplanes twice?
I was at the Burj Khalifa, okay?
You're scared of scary movies, but you're scared everybody.
Yes, and I'm scared of heights, but
I seen that you ride bikes also.
I ride motorcycles. I have a Harley Davidson. Yes, I am. I'm the middle child. I have middle child syndrome, so I'm very dangerous. You know, I like dangerous situations. And I'm a risk taker. Obviously, as an entrepreneur, you have to be.
Yes.
And I like having fun, so that's what keeps me balanced. All of that stuff. No, I don't know how to yet. I was learning on my own. I was doing it on my own. I have multiple bikes. I have a dirt bike, I have a street bike, and I have a Harley.
Oh, I didn't know. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's my bikes. Me practicing on Hollis Avenue. But what happened was I fell, and you know, I thought it was fine. I picked up my bike. I got hurt, but I was like, I'm good. You know, I'm alive. I'm good.
Do you wear like the gear and everything?
Sometimes I don't. No. Sometimes I'm like outside.
Do you wear your helmet?
Of course. Yeah. Okay. I always wear a helmet, and goggles, because things be flying in my eye. I can't do that. but I don't wear protective gear all the time. And one time I fell, I didn't have protective gear. I got like, you see I got bug bite marks, but I got this mark right here.
Okay.
But I had a hematoma, which is like a blood vessel
blood clot?
a blood vessel that is like bursted open and is leaking.
How do you manage the balance between work and personal life?
So as an entrepreneur, it's really hard to turn off, to be honest, because there's so much work that needs to be done. And if you delegate right, then, you know, other people can take that load off of you for a lot of things on your to-do list, right? But as a person who's not an entrepreneur, if you work the 9 to 5, whatever shift, you clock out, and at the end of the day, you go home and work is done. So you don't have to worry about work. It's a relief for you to be home with your family or to be hanging out with friends. I'm hanging out with friends, and I'm like they gotta be like, put the phone down. You know, like I went to dinner last night, and they're like, Mom, put the phone down. I'm like, all right, after this one last thing, and I was right though. I set the boundary, and I was like, all right, this literally is $2,000 right here. Let me just answer this little text real quick, you know, and then I'm gonna put the phone down. I put the phone down, you know. So you gotta know when to cut it off. Especially after a day's work is done, because your day's work is literally never done.
Yes.
So you have to say, all right, either at a specific time or after a specific email, text message, or booking if you're into sales, that you have to cut it off, and you know you'll get to that person tomorrow.
What advice and insight would you offer aspiring entrepreneurs who are considering starting their own haunted house or escape room?
Okay, so you got to separate those. A haunted house is totally different from escape room. They're not the same thing. Those are two totally different businesses in one area.
So let me know the haunted house.
Yeah, for a haunted house, I would definitely say, bro, you've got to be into this. In the beginning, when I said, oh yeah, what attracts me to this every year or whatever is the money, that's really not, I mean, that's definitely a major aspect of it. But the most important thing is I love doing this. Like, it has to be your passion. You can't sit here and get into a haunted house if you don't like, and that's what makes me, I'm a little, you know, I'm a home haunt, right? That's what they would call me when I go to conventions. But they're starting a home haunt. I have a haunted house in my home. I've converted my home to a haunted house.
There's more than one? There's
please, in St. Louis and all that. But they don't do I don't know if they do the whole house. I know they built mazes outside of their house. Because, you know, in like those other areas, like down south and stuff, there's, in Cali, there's there's a lot of space, but not only space, there's no rain. So they're able to do this and operate it year long, and like, you know, we have hurricane season in October, we have winter, this stuff has to come down. There's no way that maze could be staying structurally sound over all these years, unless it's built and then like dug into the ground, like built structurally a different way. But they do their thing. But the reason why they're saying that I'm different, that's why I'm number one in the tri-state, is because of the fact that I'm an individual who loves scaring people. The people who created the other haunted houses, I truly don't believe that they have the same passion about this field that I do, because they're not capturing the essence of true what it's like to actually be in a haunted house. I know what it's like to be in a haunted house. I know what it's like to expect something to come from one area and then it comes from a whole different area, or to expect something to come from an area so it does come from that area. Like, I know when to do it, and I know how to trigger people's senses. I know how to do all of that. So it's not just about the money or doing it because it's a good idea. Like, nah, you gotta want to do it. As far as the escape rooms, I think that starting an escape room, they have packages. To be honest, they have packages. So you can just buy an escape room package where they'll give you like clues. They'll give you like, you know, little things that the people can, tangible items. But I mean, the reason why people love my escape rooms, there's two different reasons. I'm the only one in the city that has live actors, period. I'm the only one in the tri-state that have live actors. Over in Cali, they might have that. Over down south, they might, I don't know. But in the tri-state, nobody has live actors that's coming in there or that's already in there scaring people. So with the aspects of wanting to start an escape room, if you want to have live actors, totally different thing. If you don't want to have live actors, like I said, my issue is I don't have a lot of bookings yet. But once I do get a lot of bookings, I can have a steady staff. If you're just a regular escape room, you're not going to need no staff. You're not going to need no overhead besides the package deals that they sell you to create it. If you're a creative mind like me, you can think up your own like synopsis and scenario, and then like you have like I made all of my own synopsises. Like I made up, you know, the Dr. Hollis is, you know, there's a virus going around. I don't know if you see my YouTube video. It's very popular on YouTube. But I'm sitting at a CNN desk, and I'm sitting there as a news reporter, and I'm talking about how there's this rapid virus in Hollis, and the doctor is cutting off people's limbs.
Okay.
And he's, you know, he's coming back to get you in a little while. So,
Right.
but everything in the room is themed to that. He has a zombie lab where it's a real zombie lab. There's a zombie on the table, and there's like, you know, there's an X-ray machine when you have to look at the X-rays, and you have to figure out which bones were broken in the zombie, and it correlates to, you know, like. I figured all that out,
right?
And you have to be able to work it backwards, work it forward multiple times so that it's seamless, so that even if a person like didn't get it, when you explain it to them, they're like, that makes so much sense. You know what I mean? Like, why didn't I think of that? Because you're under pressure, because there are actors that are in there trying to kill you. So like you're like panicking because first of all, you only got 60 minutes to escape.
Okay, and you got time.
And then you have actors that are popping in and out trying to get you. So.
Okay. That sounds cool. I gotta make sure I go there.
It's fun.
Nah, my son went there already.
Oh,
I gotta
really?
go there with him. Yeah, he went there with his mom.
Oh, wow.
He said it was cool. He said
Your
he checked
son's
it out.
son?
Yeah.
Oh,
my
I
son.
thought you meant like your son, like your homie.
No, he lives right there in Hollis in
Oh,
201st.
that is so cool. When
Yeah,
did he
checked it out.
come?
He went there last year.
Oh. To the escape room or the house?
Escape room. Did you have it last?
Yeah,
you
we
had
only
it?
had
Yeah.
one
That's
last
what
year.
I'm
We
saying.
have
He
four
went there
now.
He went there.
We have four now.
That's
I'm
cool.
very proud of them. They're very well thought out, and they're scary as hell.
So how do you manage the escape room and the haunted house at the same time?
So the escape, well, what we do is we have blocks, and we have, so if an escape room starts at 1,
Yeah.
that means you have to be there 15 minutes early. Like, it's a disclaimer. If you're not 15 minutes early, if you get there at 1, your time starts at 1.
Okay.
So whatever time you get in that room, that's how much time you have left, because we still have to do our spiel, which is not a spiel. It's actually like, it's an act.
Yes.
Like, we chase you with chainsaws when you
Yes.
pull up. Like, it's crazy. It's not like you come to the escape room, ding
That's
dong,
fire.
you just sit down and wait and get your instructions. Nah. As soon as you open
So
that door,
start.
as soon as you step foot on my property, it's gang time. It's gang. Gang, gang.
What are your dreams and aspirations for the future of your business? And how did you plan to continue growing?
Okay, so my dreams and aspirations are for me to establish more hauntings in Hollis. So the only issue is I don't know if I'm going to call them all Haunting in Hollis. I should, because that name is branded. It's well known everywhere. Like, and it rings bells. It sounds cute. You know,
Okay.
it goes together. It's a good name. But I might have, like, you know, I might pick up a new city in somewhere in Hampshire, right? And I would call it a Haunting in Hampshire. Or, you know, just cities that start with an H, so that I could keep on the haunting and whatever. And just have a series of different haunted houses by bandos. I want to buy abandoned houses. I don't want to ever get, like, I was offered to actually build an UBS arena.
That's cool.
Yeah, by a congressman. So, and I denied it. Not because they wanted me to, like, move my shit there. Like, they don't understand. The reason why people come to me is because I'm a house. I'm a real house. Like, I'm not a warehouse, you know? So I want to just purchase multiple houses. But I'm gonna probably expand into Long Island, because with the permitting and everything like that, there's no issues. So I would be able to leave it freestanding and not have, as long as I, you know, secure it properly and do whatever, because I have a great contracting team. It could stand all year round instead of me breaking it down, building it, finding storage for the panels. Like, it's a lot in this process that goes into this. And then, like, safety checks every time, making sure everything's right before, you know, we let the public in. But yeah, that's what I would do.
Would you leave the one in Hollis though?
Of
Even
course,
if
that's
just the
my
main
grandmama
thing?
house. That ain't going nowhere.
But I know it's your grandmother's house,
Yeah.
but would you leave the haunted house
Yeah,
in Hollis if you're
I would
doing bigger
definitely.
things?
I definitely would. I would.
Okay, so
'Cause
it ain't gonna be a haunted Hollis too. It'd just be a haunted,
Yeah.
haunted in.
Yeah, I think
whatever
I don't know.
area
That's
you're
my
in.
biggest dilemma. But I know I'm gonna get more houses. I mean,
Okay.
they're bandos. They're gonna be cheap. You know, like, I'm gonna start
That's
investing
smart.
this year.
That's smart.
So yeah, that's my
That's smart.
future goal.
All right. What message would you like to leave with your audience, and how would they connect with you to experience the haunted house and the unbelievable escape room?
So guys, the message I don't want to leave you, like I said, my name is Sehven, right? I am a creative mind. Wherever you go, whenever you want to do something, you got to pick somebody who actually has a passion in what they do, right? So if you want a birthday cake, you want whatever it is, you want somebody who actually loves their craft. I love my crafts, which is why you should definitely come check me out. I've been told that it's like one of the most creative things they've seen. Multiple customers. We have a multiple 5-star rating on Google. You can reach me at hauntinginhollis.com. You can Google me, A Haunting in Hollis, and you can see my reviews. And you can also check out my Instagram, which is A Haunting in Hollis, my TikTok, A Haunting in Hollis, and guess what? My Gmail account, A Haunting in Hollis. Everything is A Haunting in Hollis. And if you want to go to my escape room, same thing, website, click on escape rooms, and you'll see our packages. Right now we have a sale going on. If you purchase an escape room at the full price, you get 25% off haunted house admission. That goes for express tickets too. So if you book your escape room and then right after that you want to go to the haunted house, you skipping that line and you're going right in. So check us out and follow me on the gram, follow me on all my socials. I look forward to seeing you there.
Well, we're shooting at the Lotus CBD Cafe, and thank you for checking us out. I appreciate it.
Bye.
All right, later.